Greetings, my friends. I am Gilles Mancillon. I come to support, to inspire, to assist in whichever way following my own inspiration and guidance for all those who are friends of the truth, who are working towards the unfoldment of their heart reality and highest destiny, highest path. So right now we're in the 555 portal. It is a very important portal there's going to be a lot of integration in the next few days, and the apex will be on the 12th of this full moon. We have to understand that all is already worked out on the soul level. The souls, they do their own thing, and they have their own agreements. As I know, for me on the soul level, there was something that it wasn't possible, but my soul made an agreement with other soul, and now it's like it's anchored, and it's like an agreement has been reached, and now there's like they have to get me in alignment down here with those agreements. But on the soul level, many things have been anchored. There is a lot of certainties. We just don't know when, we don't know how, and we don't know how he will anchor into matter. But other than that, the I don't know. I took a note. I can't really read it, but we have to have faith and flow as much as possible to be in a receptive mode. Personally, I do not have complete access to the Akash, the great galactic library of all the history and all the soul contract, my own soul contract. So there is still mysteries in relationship to the soulmates, the soul twins, the the twin flames, the monad, the group souls. There is a lot of subtleties. It reveals itself slowly but surely, but there is a lot of subtleties. So we have to see how it all works out. There is still a lot of mystery, paradoxes sometimes, but. And sometimes what comes down from as a revelation from the spirit, from the higher planes, the wisdom of the universe that is revealed to us, can be very subject to interpretation. Sometimes they send you an information and the mind is going to interpret it in the wrong way because it's in a bad mood, or so. Just, of course, we're not judge, and what is the soul wants we'll get at the end, huh? It's like, if we are sincere and turn to our heart, for we and so because what is prepared for us in terms of the continuation of the finality of this incarnation is a fifth dimensional experience, and a lot of things that wouldn't be possible in the limitation of the third and fourth dimension is going to become possible in fifth dimension, in the unity consciousness. And as the physicality of the body ascend into the fourth dimension, a lot of the energies will flow a lot faster when the consciousness is already in the unity and love. Meaning, when we dream, we have a lot of freedom in our dreams. We can fly, we can do all kinds of things. But in physicality, we cannot. But very soon, with the frequency of the planet is going to raise our physicality to the level of the astral plane of the dream state. So our consciousness will be able to rule that process, and all kinds of mysterious, supernatural, what they call supernatural, which in reality is just higher knowledge of how the universe works, the alignment with higher laws, higher understanding. For we are all connected to a larger plan beyond who we are. It is the plan of God for this planet and humanity, and we are instruments to that revelation or integration of the divinity on the planet. We are messengers. We could be teachers. We can be pacific warriors. We can be healers. There's many roles that will be called to play, but. And all the things that are hidden by the soul and the spirit is actually meant to be discovered and live at the right moment. So it's like there is always good reason behind everything. God is infinite in his wisdom, and so all of life is guided by this infinite intelligence, regardless of our level of reality, in his love and compassion. For God is infinitely generous for all things. Is because everything that we have is because God gave us. But he's infinitely selfish, for there's so many things that he keeps for himself, and due to his infinite wisdom, is willing to go through all kinds of suffering just for the evolution of consciousness and the higher good of the whole. So we're very much in gratitude to our Creator for all that is that we are, what we do, what we are able to do, what we're able to realize and understand, and for what is preparing for us. For I know there is a great deal of wonderful things that are already anchored and about to unfold and manifest. So. And understanding that there are beings on the higher planes, on the invisible, which we call our guides, our angels, and the company of heaven, they're doing a lot of work just to allow us to achieve minuscule things here. Sometimes we've been preparing many incarnations and lifetime to achieve this minuscule thing. Sometimes we believe it's about the glory and the success and all that, but actually it could be very something minuscule. Like certain souls, it's not my case, but I know certain souls could spend many lifetime, like in alcoholism, just for that one lifetime where they actually break that cycle and the soul becomes free from that. Or to break free from a karmic bonds where it's like a soul will, they're gonna, two souls will keep hurting on each other until one of them is able to forgive and end the cycle of karma. So sometimes we actually been prepared for many lifetime for this lifetime. And it's not always what's important is not always what we think is important. We don't always been able to understand. And sometimes there is group souls that incarnate on the planet specifically for a very specific reason, like bringing a new technology. For me, I've always felt like I came down here to bring about certain knowledge, scientific knowledge, space technologies that will come in due time. But I already wrote a book about interdimensional travel. I've never published it, so I'm gonna publish it, and I may open some space travel agencies, not with machine to take our physical body into space, but to learn to leave our physical body and to program our consciousness, our group consciousness, to travel into other dimensions. We'll see how this unfolds when the time is right. I've done hundreds and hundreds of travel and trips with many people, so it does work very well. It's like we dream. When we dream, we move into another dimension. But this is a conscious thing. We come together in a group with an intention to leave our planetary body in order to experience another planetary body or dimensions. So this will unfold. We already have that power as a creator. We're not limited to physicality, but we haven't been taught that when we're very young. So we haven't been practicing it, and we haven't been trained for that. But if we teach little children that they have this power, they can be free from this physicality from a very young age. So the soul is very dynamic, but it brings a lot of challenges in relationship to our physical life, and sometimes it's like we have to have faith, trust, and hope always, because the ego will try to control the outcome. He will fear, he will doubt, he will definitely try to project, he will try to protect, he will try to all kinds of things. So it's very so sometimes I have to remind myself to trust and flow, that anything can change at any moment. And but then as soon as I do that, there is all kinds of paradoxes, all kinds of challenges, very sensitive energies that come to challenge my ability to stay within the flow. So it is interesting, understanding that we all conditioned by our level of consciousness at any given time, as well as our spiritual origin, where we come from, and all our soul history, as well as the destiny, the plans of our soul for the continuation of our life. I'm going to pull a few cards. I thank you very much. Not to forget to subscribe. I thank you for liking, sharing, commenting. And I thank you so very much for your donations, if you can. It really helps me to survive. I know my point of financial freedom will come soon. In the meantime, I have to survive it. I don't know how I did survive the past 3 years, but I did. God kept me alive. He wanted me to stay here. For many times I just wanted to go home, because I know my home. I know where I'm coming from, and it's very tempting to just return there. But there is so much more to experience here. And so I'm grateful that this point of freedom is so close. And the card of the day is nothing is better than your home. I'm going to feel so good to be home. Not that I have immense gratitude for for being to have survived those times, but to return into to be at home, to feel good in my body and my environment, to be able to receive people, to show my art and all that. So it's about creating creative environment and to feeling good in your body, and it's always about now. It's always about now, even if it's something that we can't physically manifest at the, so the higher wisdom is a new life. There is this new life that is right before us. What we need to understand is the respect of the rule, the universe, the law, the laws of the universe. We align with the law, and the law will act upon itself. So it's like it's about respecting the how things work. Is to understand how things work, how the law works. What we need to do is to breathe. Empty our breath as much as possible, empty our lungs as much as possible, to think about taking conscious breath. And the outcome is happy, happy. We're going to be really happy. We're going to get into this state of homeostasis where we're going to feel like life couldn't be more perfect. There is those time in life where we feel like this moment is fulfilling. There is nothing that could improve the moment. And this is also about trusting the plan of God. For God will make us wait, but at the end is because he wants us to fully enjoy what he's preparing for us. And for that, we need to remember the I am that I am. The I am. There is only one I am, and we all have that I am within ourselves. It is the most powerful energy that we can ever remember. It is part of all that is, and it's all that is the realization of that I am. All the darkness, all the evils that we can see in the world is a projection of the ignorance, a loss of memory of the I am, a distortion from the love of the one. And it is a grand illusion that was created by the source to experience all sides and angles, and that participate in the evolution of the consciousness in the universe. So, but we need to awaken from that duality into oneness, which is about shifting from external power, giving our power to the external reality, to returning to return the sovereignty, to return the authority to our inner self. It is very challenging because we've had so many lifetime in duality. We've explored so much. We've been spending so much time exploring that world of duality, which is quite interesting. We played all kind of roles, and we experience all kind of things, although we forgot, but we all of it is recorded in the Akash in an event. So there is a very simple axiom that's very important to remember. It's an eternal concept. It's you here and now. There is no other. There is nothing else. There is just you here and now. It will always be you here and now. You here and now will change. It will always change, but it will always be you here and now. It's always has been, always will be. And eventually this you here and now will become the I am that I am. So remember to yourself, I am that I am. And that opens the door for all kinds of miracles, to receive miracles from a higher self, as well as to co-create miracles when our will and intention is in the highest wisdom and love of God. God will make the miracles through us. So it is very important. It's like magic, but magic is not about imaginary potions or like tricks, technological tricks. Magic is the understanding on the higher functions of the universe to create circumstances beyond that which is acceptable to believe by other people who are witnessing it. So it's like believe in your magic, allow yourself to be guided and led by your creator within. And so when our will goes in the same direction as the will of God, miracles can happen. So we do have to accept to be pure consciousness, the eternal and finite I am, in physical body, which is like minus all the cellular memory and the beliefs of our ego. So it's like accepting those two parts and integrating those two parts, yet allowing the I am to be the dominating force and presence within ourselves. But it's not easy. There's so many lifetime in duality, and sometimes I feel I I feel forced to chase a resolution in my life. But I'm reminded, and Spirit tell me, you will see. So it's already anchored. It's already so it's like I don't have to chase it, but I'm kind of eager to find this balance, this harmony, this peace finally. And so it's like so it's like I'm really working on the flow, working on just being in the flow and turning into higher dimensions, because when we cannot achieve something on the physical plane, we always have the potential to connect to a higher dimension. And when we connect to a higher dimension, it is a part of us that is aware there, that is awakening. It's like an antenna. Although we may not be able to stay in those higher dimensions, it is important to connect to that, to activate those higher part of ourselves. And so I wanted to. There is a book I wanted to discuss. This book is like the book of books. It's like the book of knowledge. It is very powerful. There is many book of wisdom in the world, but this one is called the Urantia book. I put it in my Telegram channel, the website, and it's a book that talks about the spiritual nature of the universe. It's very detailed and precise. It's a big book, 2,000 pages. The first two parts, the part about about God, and then the second part about the universe, there is very little distortion. It can I've verified all of that. It's all true. Then the history of the earth and the life of Jesus, there is a lot of distortion there, but there is also a lot of wisdom and light within those revelations, and the book hides a lot of things. It hides a lot of things, but it reveals so much. If you're interested to explore the spiritual side of the universe beyond the physical world, I do recommend this book, the Urantia book. I've studied it since the 90s. It has a great influence on my art, and I think some of all those cosmological painting I created, inspired by those revelations, are very essential to art history and beyond history of science as well, because it is cosmology beyond what is presently known. So I recommend the Urantia book. I wanted to discuss also just an idea briefly that there is a lot of people are awakening right now among the masses, and on all levels there is a lot of awakening, and even some dark oligarchs are trying to return to the light. Spirit is showing me a lot of things on the inner planes. I'm not going to talk about names or anything, but even when a very dark, somebody who's known as somebody very dark, who's done a lot of crimes against humanity, wants to return to the dark, he needs to be welcomed into the light. He will still have to face his action and the consequences of his action, balance his karma. But it's one force less that opposes the ascension. So it's important to understand that there's many that are, there's some that are victims also. Spirit showed me like some people that are known to be dark that are actually victims, and of course it's not because somebody is an oligarch who's rich and powerful that they're necessarily dark. There is some that are working for the light, and there are some that are quite neutral. And then there is some that I see, the one that's like a very famous, very extremely famous influencer, very multi-billionaire, who's like presenting himself as the Messiah or anything like that. And in truth, he's a very immature soul. He's serving the light, but he's also doing some very dark things on the other side. But he doesn't realize his consciousness doesn't have a moral compass to let him know what's right or wrong. So he's exploring, he's curious, and I think the darkest thing will be censured. But as awakened consciousness, we become part of a network. We connect to all the other enlightened beings on the planet, the 144,000 plus, and those beings we may not be aware. Like God may hide many of them, or we may be hidden from them, from their view. We may see them and they may not see us, or vice versa. But we'll come to meet them and work with them in due time. When it is the right time, God will introduce us, and we're gonna start working. In the meantime, there is all of our guides, there is all of the galactic families, there is all the company of heaven is at your beck and call, waiting to be called, to work. They live on the invisible frequency, but they are very real, and you just have to think of them for them to be aware, because they are aware. When you think of them, they will respond. So once you're ready to work from heart to heart on the equal basis, even when you're talking to an archangel that on much higher level of consciousness or higher spirit beings, you still have this I am divinity within yourself, and it's still a divine being as well. So it's like respect the wisdom of those who have a more consciousness, but they are not object of worship that needs to be you are everything and I am nothing, and so I need something from you. Or like, just recognize your divinity and exchange on a conscious level, accept their help, work with them on the from heart to heart on an equal basis. Well, those are just advice, but because we do have to learn the protocol, how things work, respect of the rules when we deal with the higher kingdoms, and just as much as when we deal with the lower kingdoms on the earth, like the animal world and all that. For the whole expression of the divine love of God, everything is in truth. Just there is some that have very lot of veils within their consciousness, and when we move into the world, the physical world, we have to play the game in relationship to the situation and the relationship to the consciousness of the people. But we do want to bring a bit of love, a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of lightness in the situation, so that we can definitely assess the world in its evolution, and with something we're already doing on our inner planes. But very soon, the doors of the world are going to be open. It's like right now we're like on the theater, and we're working backstage. For like many years, I've been working backstage on this theater. It's like pulling strings and turning the lights and doing all that. And now it's like they're going to put me in costume, and they're going to ask me to come into the stage. So we'll see. It's going to be fun. I want to keep it light and know and trust. So the card of the day is love. Ever increasing octaves of love. There is millions of forms of love. The higher wisdom is luck, blessings, miracles. Gratitude for that. What we need to understand is to overcome our need for hesitation. What we need to do is liberation, focalize on liberation, and the outcome will be revelation, the key. It's going to be the key is the revelation. So much is going to be revealed. As we overcome hesitations, we find enthusiasm, we find indulgence, but we don't want to be too indulgent, and we find joy. So there will be joy, and then it's okay to be indulgent. It's okay to it's going to be okay to have fun, to play, to be not to be too excessive. Also, not to fall back into old patterns, but to enjoy and not to have judgment upon ourselves. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I thank you so very much for your support, for your likes, your sharing, your comments, and for do not forget to subscribe, and so much for your thank you so much for your donations, past, present. Future as well. I hope very soon. I see my point of financial freedom is not too far. I just need to survive it till then. And if you want a private session and do consultation, the consultation about an hour consultation. It really depends what's going on in those sessions. Answers will come, and direction will be. Inspiration will be given, but the nature of the consultation depends on the need of the consultant, of course. So I wish you a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this transformation portal of the 5-5, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.